Hey, Ryan.
Yes, Donna.
You know what? The cats have been fighting a lot lately.
I know they have. They've been waking me up, and I have battle scars to prove it.
Yeah, so the other day, Felix, the 2.5-legged cat, was getting stalked and beaten up by Georgie, the 3-legged cat.
And the bigger and larger and more outdoor cat, yes.
Yeah, well, they don't go outside, people. Don't worry.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But so Georgie had chased Felix into a corner, and I could hear the and puffy tails, and then Felix got loose and ran, and Georgie tackled him in the kitchen again. Yeah, and then he ran under this table, and so Georgie was stalking him again, so I had to spray them with water. Not Felix, I just sprayed Georgie.
You just sprayed Georgie. And Georgie knows if you spray him with water, you fucked up.
Well, not only that, then you came home, and it was like Georgie was telling on me. It's like he walked up to you as soon as you came in the door, and he was all like, Dad, I gotta tell you something. Me and Felix, we were just playing, and we were talking and wrestling, and then Mom, she yelled at us, and she sprayed me with water. Is that how he was the other day?
Yes, that's how he was.
Stupid cats.
Stupid cats.
Welcome to Coyote Tales, everybody. I'm Donna Shannon, here with my husband, Ryan Shannon. I'm not even going to call you a guest or whatever. I'm not even going to say I'm the host. I don't know.
What am I? I'm just here.
You're just here.
You're here. I'm here listening and drinking seltzer water today.
Oh, is that our new sponsor? Store brand seltzer water.
Please? Still haven't heard back from anybody else.
Right. So anyways, after all these cat battles that we've been having, Georgie woke me up in the middle of the night the other day, just meowing really bad, and you were in the shower. And I swear to God, Georgie was trying to confess that he had murdered Felix.
What you don't know is they do that to me. They start that about 2:15 in the morning for me. They'll come in and meow on my face.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, feed me, Ryan.
So, anyways, I was quite relieved in the morning when I got up to see that Felix is not dead.
No, he's not dead. Hiding, but not dead.
Yeah. So, anyways, these stupid cats.
Well, the thing about Georgie is, when I get home from work, I could literally see Georgie's head peeking out of the front curtains.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm unlocking the front door, he runs by like he's a dog. He's a strange cat.
Yeah. But he likes you.
He likes me a lot.
They do. And our cats Jigglypuff us.
They do Jigglypuff us a lot.
In case you don't know what that means, is, Jigglypuff from Pokemon. It sings and people go to sleep. So the cats lay down on us, and then they give off that Jigglypuff aura, and they make us go to sleep.
And they make us go to sleep for a long time.
So we've been sleeping all day today.
I'm not complaining, though.
It's like, oh, you dying?
Yeah, but not today.
We were just laying down this morning in bed doing nothing. And Jigglypuff powers on Georgie are so strong, he was laying underneath the bed and he made us fall asleep for another hour.
But yeah, because I got out of the shower and laid down, and next thing I know, I'm waking up going, what the hell time is it? It's 11 o'clock. Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he doesn't purr loud, but when he purrs, you gotta really everything's gotta be quiet in the house, and you hear this little, like, what the hell is that? Oh, Georgie's purring.
Mm-hmm. But Felix is very loud when he purrs.
Felix is very loud purr.
Yeah. He's been so traumatized that a lot of times in the evening, Georgie will be laying on me while we're watching TV, and then Felix would come up and lay down right next to Georgie. All this week, he won't lay down next to Georgie.
No.
Yeah.
So what do we have to do to help stop this?
Well, we've been playing with him more, and that's supposed to help get the extra energies out.
Is that the key? Just need to start playing with him more.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We may need to it's time to take him to the vet.
True.
Annual checkups. And one thing I did learn from Beth, our cat rescue person, our cat supplier.
Yes.
Our cat supplier. From the Animal Rescue of the Rockies. Great cat suppliers.
Great cat supplier. She hits. What is it? Hits us up, sets us up every week. But we don't take cats every week.
No, we don't take cats every week. That would look very suspicious if we did.
Well, we're not a Chinese restaurant. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Hey, food bills are tough, things keep going up. But no. We are not eating cats.
No.
Very little pussy eating happening in our house. Ryan has nothing to say about that.
Look at the time.
He's like, you're going to edit that, right?
No, she's not.
I totally lost my train of thought. Cats. Oh, sometimes if the cat is not feeling well, they'll pick fights with other cats.
Oh, okay.
Pick fights with everybody because they're not feeling good.
Well, so then we just need to get him into he needs his ears cleaned and his claws trimmed anyways.
I think I need to check his teeth.
Too.
Yeah, I think his teeth are bothering him.
Yeah. So
he's getting to be an old man. We gotta check his teeth.
He's what is he? 8?
He's about 8 or 9.
Yeah, so that's the old man era.
Yeah.
He's almost my age, and I'm grumpy all the time.
Yeah. And that's just estimates because he was a street cat. Right. But anyways, other things going on is it's Little League baseball season.
I don't go.
You're so lucky that you have the out. I will tell you this, man. I love my grandson, but I fucking hate Little League baseball.
I fucking hate baseball anymore.
Just can't do it. I mean, it's like, okay, number one problem with baseball is it's played outside. So that means I have to be out there in the sun and the air and the wind and the bugs and the shit. I don't like it. Especially just sitting there baking in the heat.
Because normally baseball, where you're watching, is just concrete.
Yeah.
So you got the sun beating down on the concrete, and then you're in the middle of the concrete in the sun, and you're just getting roasted all day.
Right. If it's early season games like spring, it's fucking freezing cold.
Yeah, you don't know whether to bring the parka or the rain jacket.
Yeah.
Umbrellas, that too.
Yeah, those work. But, oh my God. And heaven forbid if your kid's team sucks. I mean, seriously, I am like, every time I go to one of these games, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I wasted 2 to 3 hours of my time to sit here and watch my kid get up and strike out twice.
If he gets up twice. Yeah. And then he ends up playing right field, which is the worst position in the game.
Well, of course it is. That's the position I used to play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I played right field, first base, and catcher when I played.
You told me you didn't play.
I didn't play Little League.
Oh. Where were you playing?
I played, I tried out for high school, and then when I played softball.
Ah. Yeah. So, it's just rough. It's brutal. And Maddox hasn't played baseball in a couple of years. So, also, it's a hyper-competitive team that his dad signed him up for. And I think the coach doesn't like him. Because he, at least for one of the innings of the game, he's always riding the bench. Always.
Which is sad, especially as competitive as he is.
Yeah, but good God, this team wants him to show up for all their practices. They started practicing in January and February.
That's hockey season.
I know. And then they had he had to do 8 private coaching sessions that he's still trying to catch up on.
Holy shit.
And just all this other stuff. So, of course, all these other kids that the coach has been working with for multiple seasons in a row, he's going to play them. That's how that game works.
That's unless you're a natural superstar, a 5-tool player, you're not going to get any playing time.
Yeah, and Maddox is awesome in hockey. He's played on international hockey teams, but, he hasn't done this baseball thing in a while. So anyways, I love you, Maddox. I'm sure you're going to hear this someday. This is nothing against you. This is all about my hatred of baseball.
I hate baseball. I've hated baseball for years.
Now, T-ball was really cute.
Well, T-ball's awesome.
T-ball, they're just like hockey puppies. So they're adorable. Little 4 and 5-year-olds running around the field. And what's awesome about T-ball, too, is you can have 20 kids on the team. Who gives a fuck? They're all in the field at once. There's no positions. You don't have to put up with bad pitching. Nobody's walking in runs because the pitchers just don't have their shit together. You don't have that going on. And anytime a ball gets hit in the field, no matter where it is, every single one of those baseball puppies runs to the ball.
Runs to the ball.
So it's just like, packs of baseball puppies running all over the field. So cute.
Even when they collide, it's like bowling.
Yeah. And also the games are only like 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half, because you can't keep the 4 and 5-year-olds focused beyond that.
No, you can't.
And everybody hits. Everybody gets a hit. And regardless of how it gets fielded, every kid who hits gets a home run.
Yeah, well, they always get on base.
Yeah, but often at some point they will get to run all the bases.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just let them run.
They just run. Burn out the energy. Run.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run.
It's like, but now, Jesus Christ. Oh, the mercy rule. You know the mercy rule, right?
Yeah, I do know the mercy rule.
Okay. If anybody else is out there and doesn't have a kid baseball team that sucks ass, or if you were never on one, the mercy rule is after the end of 3 innings, if you're losing by like 15 runs, they call it. They're like, okay, you're done. Nobody can watch this torture anymore. We're not going to make you suffer. I don't know of any other sport that has a mercy rule except for maybe boxing.
Well, boxing or any ring sport, UFC.
Well, yeah, but it's a fight because you're literally dying.
I can't think of any because in football there's no mercy rule. In soccer there's no mercy rule.
Because they're also scheduled by time.
It's all time. Where baseball, in the new baseball rules, everything's scheduled by time.
The Little League doesn't do that.
Oh my God. Oh, brutal.
Yeah, so Maddox's team the other day, they're doing tournament play, so it's all supposed to be, every game is only 2 hours or 3 innings.
Or 3 innings, whichever comes first.
Right, so this is one of those games where they are losing by more than 20 runs. It is bad. It is so shitty. And I also didn't know this was a rule. This other team that they were playing was so hyper aggressive that even though they were up by an extraordinary amount, they would, after they walked to first base, steal second immediately. I'm like, wait a minute, the pitcher has the motherfucking ball. How is this possible? It's like the kid walks, pitcher has the ball, and they just barely look at the pitcher and they just ran right to second.
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't think you could. I thought when the pitcher has the ball again, the play is dead.
Until he
Especially if they're walking up onto the mound. Why the fuck did they keep stealing second after they just got walked?
That's a douchebag coach.
Especially when you're ahead 15 or 20 runs.
Yeah, that's just a douchebag coach.
It's like, why are you still stealing period? And why are you stealing home? And why are you stealing second after you just got walked? It is cold.
Egos.
Cold-hearted. But
it doesn't help. Maddox's team is not very good.
No.
For the money they spent, it's a not very good team.
No, they're not. They're just not.
And I know I played on bad teams. I played on a lot of bad teams.
Yeah, but I did in that one game. Anyways, the timing thing. So they were coming up on the 2 hours. Only 2 innings have been played.
Oh my God.
And there are 7 minutes left. 7. And the fucking umpires and coaches decide to play the next inning to make it an official game.
Holy shit.
Nobody in the parents even knows how far behind we are. It's well over 20 runs. It's ridiculous. There's 7 minutes left in the game. They're like, we have to play one more inning to make it official. I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't.
You do. You can call the umpire can call it at any time. It's still official game. They do it with rainstorms all the time. 7
fucking minutes. So they do it. They play another inning. And of course, it's the douchebag team that's up first.
And they take forever.
35 minutes for the top of the 3rd inning.
Holy shit.
35 fucking minutes. And then
another 10, 15 runs.
Yep, and then our team gets up, 3 up, 3 down, 5 minutes.
That sucks. That's brutal.
That's so awful. Just, yeah, that's like the torture of baseball.
See, that's why I like time sports. I like hockey, and I've been watching more soccer, but, to me, I will only watch international soccer because there's a time limit. Yeah. After this amount of time, the game's going to end. Yeah. Baseball's just boring anymore.
Yeah. So, I actually read a book. I thought of this sitting at the game yesterday. It's kind of like a psychology book I read in junior high. It's called Finite and Infinite Games. So finite games are the ones that have clear beginnings, clear ends, winners.
Right.
Right? And infinite games where the goal is not necessarily to beat the other person or team. An infinite game is to keep playing as long as possible and involve as many people as possible. So in the mental parts, though this was a book I read in the 80s, finite games tend to be more masculine.
Okay.
Clear winners, clear rules, clear boundaries.
Okay.
It's like we've got, you could run out of bounds in football and stuff like this.
Right.
It's a finite game. Infinite games tend to be a little bit more feminine in nature. So it's not competitive. It's not aggressive. It's collaborative play. So this is a dumb comparison, but like quilting circles.
Right.
The whole point of the quilting circle is not to see who's the best sewer. It's to sit around and hang out with your friends with an activity going on.
And quilt.
And we're going to just share our experiences.
Oh, I have an issue. If I have an issue in the quilting circle, there's 4 or 5 people that can help answer it. You have an issue in the baseball field, you're screwed because everybody's dealing with their own issues.
Right. Right. So, even Forged in Fire.
Right.
You could argue that Forged in Fire is an infinite game. Because your goal, yes, is to win and win the money, but it's also to share your techniques and your skill. You're showcasing your work.
True.
And the goal is to stay in the game as long as possible.
Right.
So that is an infinite game.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, because it's not based on points. So anyways, I was like sitting here in this game going, wow, I can remember. I'm surprised I remember this much about this whole philosophy. And I'm like, oh, I know why. Because this game has gone on an infinite number of times. Baseball should not be an infinite game, but this one fucking is.
I'm so glad. I mean, even there was in the MLB years ago, the All-Star game was going to extra innings because they couldn't get the runs in. And it was infinite. I've seen baseball games that are 5-6 hours long. They start at 7 and end at 1 and 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because they suck and they can't get the last run across to win the game.
Yeah. Now, technically they are a finite game, but it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
Oh, anyway, so there you go. Ta-da! Learning moment for everybody.
And now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Oh, but speaking of half the battle, this one game with the 20 plus runs and douchebags, I did get to see the most amazing play in baseball I've ever seen in my entire life.
And what was that?
I had been waiting for a play like this since, watching the Rockies when we had like partial season tickets. I mean, this was more amazing than Troy Tulowitzki's unassisted triple play.
And what was that? Holy cow.
I know. It was so impressive. Okay, so, they're losing this game
By a lot. Yeah.
By a lot. So they're down to their third string pitcher. And this kid is big. He's like 13, but well over 6 feet. Okay.
He was like me, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah,
kid.
kind of built like you too.
Yeah.
Like Jason Voorhees kind of body.
Yeah.
Not the retarded part, but...
What are you saying about me?
I'm not saying that about you, but...
Oh, him. Okay.
Yeah, the original Jason Voorhees had Down syndrome. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. Don't be mad at me. Don't say nasty comments.
Well, he did.
Yeah, this is true. But anyways, so big kid is the pitcher, and he's a little bit behind on the count, but he manages perfect pitch, goes right over the middle of the plate. Batter gets a piece of it. Line drives right back, bam, into the pitcher's nuts.
Ow.
That's what everybody in the crowd did. They went, oh! I have never seen in real life somebody in slow motion, hands go to the crotch, and he sinks slowly down onto his knees. And he flops over on his side. And his leg goes straight up in the air and starts twitching. I'm trying my best not to laugh my ass off. Because that was hilarious.
So didn't a mother say, that's what your cups are for?
Yeah, so, okay, they've got, like, 4 guys out there to help this poor kid out on the mound. And, yes, so there was a big discussion from the moms. They're like, yes, like, half the boys on the team don't want to wear their cups anymore because they're, like, 13 years old and cups don't fit as well as they used to. There's just more to handle there, And... so that's what one of the moms did. Yells it out to the entire field. This is why you wear cups, boys. And I'm like, that is so helpful. Karen.
I've always worn a cup. I mean, because when I played football, I was a center. So we always wear the cup in football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they bring the kid back, not even to the dugout. He is sitting on the bleachers with us. And he's got like a very large bag of ice right in the middle of his crotch. I mean, he stands up. It also looks like he wet himself because the ice is just melted.
It's just leaking everywhere.
Yeah. And one of the moms looks over. It's probably his mom and goes, "Walk it off, honey. Walk it off." The dad sitting next to him is like, "No, you don't have to do that."
You can't walk that off.
So, yeah, it was the most amazing play in baseball ever made.
Yeah, what was it? 2 balls and 1 hit or something?
That's right. That hitter, he got a single and 2 balls off the same pitch. Oh, so anyways, that's. Have you ever seen a play like that?
Not live. I've seen it on videos and stuff, but never live.
Right. Okay. Oh, are we done with baseball?
We're done with baseball.
All right, but okay, it's June. I still have 2 more months of games to go to.
And you notice she said I and not we, because there's no way in hell I'm going to go see Little League Baseball.
Yeah, especially when the team sucks.
Yeah, especially if the team sucks. And the fact that Maddox doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to get into that.
No.
But when does hockey season start?
October? September, actually, isn't it?
September, October, not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
All right, we're going to take a break and then we shall come back. And we are back. So, since it is summertime, we're going to give you a couple of movie reviews that you can add things to your queue or not. And since we're like grizzly old Gen Xers who are cheap and have not bought movie tickets in a while, we're not going to talk about current movies. No.
Why would we talk about current movies?
Why would we?
Because we're cheap.
Yeah. But I did convince you to buy a movie for me that we watched at home.
And I regret buying this and watching it at home.
Yeah, I admit it's not for everybody.
It is definitely not for everybody. But your son really liked it.
Yeah, so it's called Mad God.
Mad God. It's I don't know, it's a 30-year in the making movie, and it was not good at all. I tried to fall asleep, but I couldn't.
You tried to
fall asleep, and I just couldn't. It was just from previous podcasts. If I fall asleep, I didn't like the movie, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, so it is animated from Phil Tippett is the director and writer, and it's stop action animation.
Stop action animation. Stop motion
animation. And so he's a guy who's worked on a lot of Star Wars stuff. He's done very well.
Done a lot.
Yeah. But this job, a little weird.
It was a lot weird.
Yeah.
It was, the crying baby got to me.
Yes. Yeah, I admit that too. So, number one, it's a non-linear storytelling, meaning there's like not actually a plot here. There's very little plot, and things just kind of happen. And a lot of it is, let's be as gross as possible.
Yeah.
It felt like,
yeah.
Let's be as bleak as possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of shit.
Lots of shit.
Literal shit.
Shit.
And people eating the literal shit.
And shitting the shit. It's almost Betty's Human Centipede, but I don't want to talk about that one.
It's a Human Centipede 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The one that was so awful they had to make it black and white because it wouldn't even hit an R rating.
If they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough about that one.
Yeah, we're not gonna dive into that.
But Mad Gods, I mean, if it's your type of movie, I got no problem with it. It's just not my type of movie.
I'd say the best way to summarize it is the theme of it starts off like in one of the very first scenes is probably one of the bleakest quotes from the Bible ever in Leviticus. Basically, it's quotes from God saying, if you piss me off, I'm going to curse you and destroy you and just shit all over you, and not just you, but all your generations thereafter and things like that. So the world kind of starts with its destruction, and then the assassin keeps descending down into the world, and the more levels he goes down, the more fucked up it gets.
The bleaker it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, some parts were interesting, but all in all, I think it was 90 minutes. It was just okay. What do they call it? Animation fantasy horror?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely very dark. Very bloody. Very gross.
I don't think there was a lot of verbal communication during this movie either.
I don't think there was any dialogue.
Maybe a handful of dialogue.
Not even that. I don't even think there was that. But yeah, it was all imagery. So the one question I have in my mind is like, okay, do you think it's Mad God as an angry God, or is it Mad God as this God is crazy?
It can be either way. You can take it either way.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, as it's going through and it's killing things and it's destroying, it's creating just to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like the God is mad, therefore it's going to kill you, but the God is mad, crazy because of what he's letting happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. That's probably a good way to put it. Another thing I got out of it was, as you get into these descending worlds, everybody's fucking everybody over.
Yes.
Yeah, you're always killing and torturing or putting creatures into loops that have no purpose. So I kind of got out of that was, if you're in a world created by a mad god, you will do the same to others.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was like this one part that was actually pretty, where this one troll-like dude had they were like, looked like Meow Wolf colors, neon kind of colored creatures.
Right, neon-y.
Yeah, and he had them like in a terrarium. And there was just like two of them. You could tell they were, like a bonded pair. And he fed him some mealyworms, and they were all happy to eat the mealworms.
Right.
And it actually looked like this peaceful garden world, which is like not the same as anything else around.
Because it's really a dark, dark movie.
Yeah. And then it's all like, oh, look at the happy creatures. I'm going to release a giant spider creature on them who will take one of them away and eat it. And it's all like, nothing can be happy here.
No, nothing. Even when you think it's going to be happy, the god made it unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even the god. I spoke out of turn. One of the other beings in the show.
Yeah, it was just a troll dude who gets, everybody treats him like shit. So he's going to raise these creatures and he's going to treat them like shit just to be destroyed. It is all fucked up.
It was, I don't recommend it, but if you want to watch it once, watch it once.
Mm-hmm. Just be aware that there is a lot of literal shit
and
flying everywhere.
Lots of blood, guts, and lots of... Ugh.
And we are not squeamish people, so if we are saying there's a lot of blood and guts around...
There's a lot of blood and guts around.
A lot of blood and guts. Also, a lot of things of creatures and people being created just to be destroyed.
Correct.
For no other purpose than that.
Right.
Yeah. And there was a scene where there was like this screaming baby worm thing that cried nonstop for over 15 minutes.
And that got annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of sounded like my internal dialogue when I watched Little League Baseball.
Another error.
But
so one thing about Little League Baseball is they even point out when you fuck up.
Oh, they do that in Major League Baseball too.
They do.
I mean, like, oh my god, that fucking baseball. Yeah. What other sport or job is it where you like maybe have to do things one or two times during your day, but if you make a mistake, we're not just going to point it out. We're going to put it up on the scoreboard for everybody else to see. Hey, by the way, Ryan fucking dropped this ball that he should have had quite easily.
I made an error. I made a mistake. Well, yes, now everybody knows you made an error of a mistake.
Yeah.
So back to Mad God.
I think we've said enough.
Bob, thank you. That's what I was going to say, but you beat me to it.
Yeah. And I owe you $3.99.
You do owe me $3.99.
That was the other thing. We had to pay to watch this one.
Yeah, but I got a discount, so it was all good.
It's okay. All right. But there's another movie that you really, really like, which we actually watched for the second time this past week.
Correct. The movie is called The Final Girls. It's a slasher horror story. I couldn't tell you who's in it because Donna's not pulling it up on the internet.
I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
She's not an asshole. Well, she can't be an asshole. The Final Girls is a horror movie about getting trapped in a slasher. This group of teens get stuck in the slasher movie, and they have to figure out who the final girl is. If you don't know Final Girl, it's the last girl of all horror movies that survives and usually
beats the
killer.
Yeah. All right. Directed by Todd Strauss Schulson. Starring Tasia Farmiga,
Yeah, I don't know.
Malin Ackerman, Adam Devine.
Yes.
Oh, that's the only name I know.
Adam Devine. It's a good movie about a serial killer. Yeah, it's worth a watch. It's funny. It's a comedy horror.
Well, it's like literally modern kids. So the main girl they get pulled into the movie, and her mom had starred in this movie.
From the 70s. 70, actually 80s.
It's from the 80s. It's like 80s. And her mom had been killed in a car wreck in real life 2 years before this actually happened.
Correct.
So she gets talked into going to this movie theater where they're doing a special celebration of, what was the name of the camp?
I don't remember what.
Camp Bloodbath or something.
Bloodbath Camp. And the name of the movies are Bloodbath Camps.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Friday the 13th, but they didn't use Friday the 13th. They had to make their own camp.
Yeah. And since the one girl brought in from present day, along with her 5 friends, are not part of the actual movie, when they do things, they change what happens in the movie.
Correct.
But it's definitely movie rules.
So, yeah.
It's like they can't leave the camp.
Well, they tried to leave the camp and they couldn't leave. And they tried just to sit there and couldn't leave. And then they watched the first pair of people get killed. And the killer looks over and sees them. And it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. What do I do?
And they're like, oh, we're not part of the movie. He's not going to kill us.
And they kill one of them.
Well, he tries to take a selfie with him.
Is that what it is?
Yes, he was trying to take a selfie with the killer in the background.
And he dies.
Yeah, and he gets chopped up with his machete.
It's a good movie. I saw it on a podcast years ago about movies with different aspects, and I'm like, I'd watch that. And it's really has a sad ending to it, too.
But it's a necessary ending.
It's a necessary ending, but it's a sad ending.
And then it has, what a twist!
What a twist! Because there's sequels to it. And they couldn't get out of the movie, but that's a twist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, Final Girls, highly recommend it. Anything else about it? It's funny, and it is not bloody at all. Even though it's about a slasher movie, it's a PG-13 film.
It is a PG-13. I think it is a PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bloody, where Mad Gods is complete bloody. And it's won several awards, so.
Yeah, it actually has.
So I personally recommend The Final Girls, but don't recommend Mad God.
There we go. Alrighty, so that gives you a couple of things to watch on the summer in between baseball.
Little League Baseball.
Oh my God. Maddox, I am so sorry.
I love you, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Me watching Little League Baseball is like Ryan coming to my comedy shows. What?
Thank you for tuning in this week. I got nothing.
Got nothing. All right. Well, then, this is the end of episode 2 of season 2. Ooh, maybe someday we'll actually start doing these on a regular basis.
Maybe.
When they're actually due.
Life.
All right. And we shall catch you next time.
Donna Shannon's Coyote Tales is a production of Coyote Visions Productions and is hosted by Donna Shannon. Ugh, nothing redundant about that. Theme music is Coyote Strut by James Ney. All other music is ethically sourced and licensed from sounddogs.com and epidemicsound.com. And we paid for it, I swear. We can provide receipts if necessary. All the stories you've heard are true. Only the names, events, and facts have been changed for our own amusement. In the immortal words of Obi-Wan, so what I told you was true. from a certain point of view. Find all of Donna Shannon's website and social media links at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/Donna Shannon. Follow us and find out all about upcoming shows and live performances. Now go out there, enjoy life, and grab some tales of your own.